Yo, welcome Game IQ podcast family to another episode on the podcast. Today I'm joined with my host, Gift, Trevor, and Freddy for another episode. Today's episode we're gonna be talking about the performances of the African teams in the World Cup, the future of African teams in the World Cup, and do we believe that African teams have a chance of winning the World Cup in their future, in the next World Cup, which is what, 2030?
2030,
Yeah, 2030 World Cup. So do we believe we have a chance of winning that World Cup or other future World Cups, and what is the steps that have been taken, or what we believe the steps that should be taken for African teams to win the World Cup? So guys, what do you think for this episode?
Okay, where do you start from? Okay, start from me. Then.
Yeah.
I think this episode will be interesting, and just to realize how Africans came so far as a continent and in soccer, and be interesting podcast.
Yeah.
The future.
Yeah.
Okay, right now we can see most of the teams, African teams, were able to qualify to go to the World Cup. We had most of the teams there, and most of them, out of the 10 teams that we had in the World Cup, 9 of them were able to go to the round of
yeah.
So it shows that there's still a growth in African teams, you see. And some of the teams were able to go to the round of 16s, you saw. So I think the future is there.
Okay.
I think African teams have a really great potential.
Yeah.
I think they are going to go far. Like we take teams like Morocco, they pave the way for African teams so that they can perform well. Because you can see even on CAF, they're also performing very, very well, exceptionally so. So I think it's going to be very, very. It's not going to be easy, but then I think we are one step closer.
Yeah, we're getting there. So, as we know, we had 10 African teams in the World Cup, the most we have ever had in the World Cup.
Obviously, because they improved they extended the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, but still having 10 African teams that performed, or I'd say 9 that performed in the World Cup is still very impressive.
Yes, it's impressive, let me just say.
Because let's be honest, most people didn't expect African teams to do this well. This well in the World Cup. I think most people are expecting them to be grouped, coming out 4th, 3rd, 2nd.
But third was also getting qualified. So
yeah, but obviously we didn't think they would be like the top 2.
Top 2, yeah.
Yeah, I think the only African team people were actually looking at was Morocco because of what they were doing last World Cup. But with this World Cup, we showed that it's not only Morocco that's there. There's other African teams. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go through each group A, B, C, D, all the way until the last group. Look at the African teams, and then from there, you guys can tell me how you think they performed.
I think we should, like, for every country, we talk about, like, in Kiri we say we're going to talk about the future, everything. So we go country by country talking about all those things for that specific country, for it to be much simpler than going for 1-1-1-1, then going back up 1-1-1.
Now we can do that.
I feel like for Group A, since South Africa's in it, I know it's going to be a hot topic. We should start with Group B, and at the end of the video we're going to do Group A.
Okay, so Group B, there wasn't any African teams.
So we just skip Group B.
So the next group was Group C. They had an African team. Our first African representative, Morocco. Morocco's team, they did very well in the World Cup. Here's the stats for you in the group stage, which was they had 2 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses, and 7 points in the group stages. And the furthest they made it was the quarterfinals. So how do you guys think about Morocco's performance in the World Cup? Do you think they elevated from last World Cup, or was it a stagnation where it stayed the same?
Morocco is a team, like, they're already proven themselves like they're a top team, and that was this. They're already good. Like they proved to the world already. Everyone was expecting them to do well. So that one wasn't a surprise, as I say. But they're a good team in general, and we can see the football. Even the quality of players coming from Morocco is now upgraded. and you can see. I think like in the future, Morocco, like out of all African teams, has the higher chance of winning the FIFA World Cup. Like if we put a team to win it. Also, like when it comes to Morocco, have you seen like Morocco? The people there. I don't want to start hot topic, but the people there, like they saying they're not Africans. They're considering themselves part of the Arab nation. What do you guys think about that?
Thing is, it's not everyone in Morocco that believes that.
Yeah.
That's the problem, because with Morocco it's very diverse. It's a country where you have Middle Eastern people, but also African mixture
of Africans.
So there are some that still claim to be African, and then there's some that claim to be Arabs. But if you say you're Arab, what can I do?
But I'm just saying, like, when they win and stuff, they put a little accreditation to South Africa, but mostly they'll be saying that we made Arab proud. They always think that they're not African, and I don't know why. Let me just say I don't know why, because since they're in the continent of Africa, so I don't know why, but it is what it is.
I think as Africans we shouldn't pay attention to
we shouldn't pay attention to
because
them.
Morocco is not the only African team
that are performing well. Yeah. So if they don't want to be African, don't be African, just go be Arabs, because we have talent in Africa that we don't need them to say that they are helping us, like they are helping Africa and stuff. If they want to go to Arab, go be Arabs. Because I knew that, was it the Prime Minister of Morocco that say they are part of the Arab nation, but it is what it is. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a serious topic, but we know Morocco, every time they are there to perform.
Yeah.
So even from the last World Cup, they did their best. Even on this World Cup, they tried their best. Going to the quarterfinal was something else, but somehow expected them to go to semi-finals. You know, yeah. But they did their best and
they performed.
Yeah, so I think Morocco did play very, very well. And to think that last time on the FIFA World Cup in 2022, they were surprised to reach the quarterfinals. But then the semifinals. But then if you think Pella, now they reached the quarterfinals this time, it means that they are willing to be more consistent, and their football is very, very well developed, and they play very, very well. So I think Morocco has a very, very good chance on being of becoming the future World Cup winners.
Things what I love with Morocco is this is not just a team that they built now. It's something that they've been building. Because I know Morocco had a vision of how the team wanted to be from a long time ago, where they started taking players, not just like if you check the squad for Morocco, most of them are mostly born in Europe. You have players like Al Khanous, born in Europe, Talbi, Europe, Onahi, Europe, Brahim Diaz is European, El Anoui is European, Bouadi is European, Mazraoui, Diop, Hakimi. These players
Hakimi was from Europe.
He was born in Spain.
Okay.
These players were born in Europe. But with Morocco, what they did was something different than that most African teams only start doing now. After the 2022 World Cup, they start doing now was, instead of only looking at players that were just born in our country, let's look at the players that were born overseas.
I don't think
and bring them into this team.
Like when you say that topic, when you say that Africans don't look about players that were born here, also I disagree, because most of these countries like Ghana and stuff, they'll be looking for people born overseas. But the people born overseas, they don't want to come and play for Africa because they feel like these African teams, they won't get any success or no trophies with these African teams. As I can say, with the point of
that case
in Cameroon, Mbappe was willing to come to Cameroon, but Cameroon wanted a fee of money. So I think it's also the greed of African teams that sometimes makes players not want to come here. And also in the case of the Liverpool Cameroonian, the centre back that played for Liverpool,
Matip.
Yeah, Matip was playing for Cameroon, but was it Cameroon?
Yeah,
he was playing for Cameroon, but at a certain point you see that Cameroon, they don't have a diet plan for them. They eat fufu and meat, eat fufu, and he doesn't want to because it's unbalanced diet, so he didn't want to be part of that.
But I don't think that's fully the reason. Thing is with Morocco, they have the infrastructure for these players to say, I want to come and play for Morocco. Yeah. And most of these teams, like if you look, most African teams, they are starting to do that. Morocco's the idea now of taking players. Obviously, they have been taking players from Europe, but it has not been at a large rate because they always considered, let's take players from our country because they have the true pride of our country. Unlike most of these teams, like now you see with Morocco, most of their talent is from overseas. Players like Talbi, he was part of Belgium's youth system from under 15 until under 21, and he chose to represent Morocco.
Yeah, as I'm saying, like Morocco has shown winning culture that and it shows structure. But so I feel like players from overseas will see like Morocco is a competing team. It always goes to the World Cup. Okay, starting with 2022, I'm not sure from the others, but 2022 it showed like it came there to perform. So players know like I can trust the team to win me titles. Doesn't mean because I'll be sacrificing my trophy cabinet to go to play for this international team. So I feel like more players will be encouraged when Morocco comes and calls them up. They'll be encouraged to go there. And there's not that much competition when it comes to France. France, if you have one bad season, you're not going to be called up. Morocco, I think they'll call you up, but you'll be a sub.
Yeah, Morocco thing is, with Morocco, it's not just the first team that are good.
Yeah.
The youth teams are also good.
Yeah.
I think under 21 won the World Cup.
Yeah.
Under 18s also won the World Cup. Yeah. So it shows that they're not just relying on you guys in Europe. They have academy players as well. If you don't do well, we want to take from the academy and put them in because they're doing well. They're showing something. So it shows that Morocco are building a good structure, even for the next World Cup. Yeah, so I see them as maybe a potential winner. Like out of all the African teams that are there, I see them as the highest potential of winning the World Cup because the infrastructure that they've built. Youth teams are winning the World Cup. Imagine African youth teams are winning the World Cup. The last one that did that was Nigeria.
Yeah,
you see. So I see something with Morocco.
Yeah, they're cooking for you. What do you guys feel about Morocco? You guys have been quiet. Yeah,
I think we've said our views, and Morocco is. I think they have the best chance of winning the World Cup.
And you think like, why do you think was this Morocco like they're going high at that like so fast? Back in before 2022, we didn't even know like Morocco the competitor. Why do you think from 2018 to 2026 they have developed?
I think they were competing then.
Yeah.
In Africa, they were competing they were always competing for
AFCON.
For being the best team in Africa. They were. So I think they really deserved it because you can even see the way they perform.
Yeah.
They even make European teams feel like small kids, you know. Yeah.
And the thing about like how they performed in the World Cup, Morocco was the highest scoring African team in the World Cup combined with Senegal. So I feel like even the possession, they had the highest possession in the World Cup out of African teams. So I feel like they're not only developing in one position, I think they're developing as a whole. They have an attacking system, the attackers are good, the midfielders are good, the defenders are good. So as a whole, they are good. They're a structured team and a well-balanced team.
I think what you're talking about, like with them being the most high-scoring teams in the World Cup is it's not because that they have a good attack. It's because they don't have that mentality that we fear European teams. Like most African teams have that mentality when we want to play European teams. We want to play 6 at the back. Like what we saw at South Africa's first game against Mexico. We saw that Hugo Bros respected the opponents too much, and that's the problem that keeps African teams down because we have too much respect for the opponents. Morocco, they don't have that respect for the opponents. We were the same team in the game. That's how they see it. We are both playing for one thing. I'm not here to respect you. I'm here to win. I continue on with life, and that's why they're getting the win. Same thing with Senegal. We don't have time to respect you. We win. We continue on with life. If African teams can adopt that mentality of we don't have time to respect you. Let's play our football. We will beat you. Because you said you want to put South Africa last year, but I'm still gonna mention it now. South Africa, in my viewpoint, if we did not respect opponents and played like Morocco, chose to play our football, we could have gone further than the round of 32, in my opinion.
I will discuss that later.
In my opinion.
What last thing when it comes to Morocco? Hey, bro, why are you being quiet? We'll talk about what's going on with Morocco.
Brother, there's nothing to say that much about Morocco. You're always hypering Morocco. You know Morocco is the best team, you know. But from the previous World Cup, they haven't done that much we can talk about.
That going to the AFCON,
they went for
AFCON final and got a controversial win. They won the AFCON final and they also went to the quarterfinals? Yeah, quarterfinals in the.
That's what I'm saying. World Cup, the first World Cup, the 2022 World Cup, they were knocked out on the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Same was this.
No, semi-finals.
Semi-finals. So this year they were knocked out.
But like the African teams, like remember they were the first African team to go to the semi-finals the last time. This time they go to a quarterfinal. It shows like they're competing. They went to compete.
Yeah, they are competing. To my way of experience, if they were able to go to the semi-finals in the 2022 World Cup, we should have expected them to go to the final because they already have their experience of how they can maneuver the World Cup. You see, so right now, okay, they did their best. They were knocked out on the group stage, the quarterfinals. It's something, but it would have been a much more interesting topic if they were knocked out on the finals or they won the World Cup.
Yeah, obviously competition.
Before we move on from Morocco, there's just one question I want to ask. So do you guys think this was a digression from the Moroccan team, or they did well, or they overdid their expectations?
I think they did very, very well because let me explain something. If you are able to reach that point in that tournament because you are competing with world-class teams, I think they are building themselves a strong foundation for their teams, for their players, for their staff, their coaches, everything. So I think for them, they are doing a very good job.
And the other thing is now, if you can check right now, compared to with the squad they had, they mostly had European players, which gave them more advantage. Wait.
Okay, I'm letting you finish.
So that's why I don't like speaking, because this guy is always on my neck every time. So you don't want to understand. They have the advantage of players who already playing in the Europe. They are used to the other players. They know how they play. They know how to go against them. You understand? So that's why I say, for me, I would have expected them, at least if they were able to go to the semi-finals. It would really have been something else. But for me, I feel like it was a downgrade because 2022 they were able to go to semi-finals. And in 2022 there were not much of the teams at that time. But now they had more teams. And if you can check, most of the team Morocco faced in their journey, okay, they were able to beat them. But what can I say about this? They were knocked out by what is it? France. Okay, but if you can check, France, most of the players in France, and also in Morocco, they know each other. They know how we can play, how this player plays, and how we can compete with these players. You understand? So I think the coach would have done better by trying to knock out France, because they have the experience of playing the World Cup. You see, rather than other teams like Cape Verde, they were able to push themselves, even if they didn't have that much of an experience in a World Cup. they were able. Those we can say that those are the teams that has upgraded a little bit from the past experience. But Morocco, we know good. Morocco World Cup, they are there to compete.
Can you actually put the 2022 brackets with Morocco? Okay. As you can see, like in the last, I think France doesn't like them too much. They knocked them out the last time as well. As you can see, like with Morocco, France has always been the kryptonite. Let me just say, France like has a higher rating than Morocco, right? And has more quality players. I'm just saying, just to them to get to that point was a good thing for them, and just to them to show like they're consistently going to the knockout stage. That's important. That shows that there's some level for growth. I hear what he says that they didn't do as well as they did in 2022, but I feel like in the future they can still grow, and they're showing how Africans play. Just visually, as we say, when you watch them without stats, just watching them play, you can see these people can play football, and they're really showing there's some quality in Africa.
And some what I was trying to explain, Morocco was knocked out by France twice, but let's talk about teams like Nigeria in AFCON. South Africa, every time when he has to face Nigeria, we knew sometimes we are going to lose against them, but somehow we managed to come up with a strategy of how to beat Nigeria. So Morocco should have done the same thing. From 2022, this is how we are knocked out by France. Then this is 2026. We are facing them again.
They're Ballon d'Or winners though. But it's okay.
That's only what you call this? What I would call this? It's not a state child. Something that you are given. It doesn't determine your full potential. You know, they can call you a doctor, and then, but I'll have much more experience more than you. Even when you are called a doctor, I can be clever than you. Even when you are a doctor, it's all about the mind.
The mindset.
Yeah, it's how you think. Okay, France, they play this playing style. So if I want to beat France, I have to do this and do this. You know, you've seen players. You watch teams that played with France. You check how they were able to beat France. And then you try to implement that in your own style. And then you know, when I have to face France, this is what I'm gonna do. You understand?
But I think also it goes down to the luck of the draw. They got a hard path, obviously, to get to the quarterfinals. Playing France, not every team can beat France. Let's be honest, not every team. And I don't think it comes down to the thing of having Ballon d'Ors. Argentina has a guy that has 8 Ballon d'Ors and they still got beaten by Spain.
At the final.
But still, even if it's in the finals, you still got beaten. Beaten is getting beaten. The reason why I feel that they lost against France and they could have beaten France is they have too much respect for France. Like I said, it all goes down to some teams have respect for other teams and it causes them to lose games that they're supposed to win. That's my viewpoint of Morocco. Because if you watch the game, Morocco versus Morocco versus France, I feel Morocco was very defensive in that game. They were showing too much respect to France. If they were just playing their football, I feel like the 2-0 score would have been something different. Probably 2-2 or 3-2. Even if you lost 3-2, at least I can say you guys did something.
Okay.
Instead of losing 2-0, now it looks like you didn't even play your football. You played a football that's not yours, and you still lost. So now it shows that you have too much respect for France. If they can remove that, I feel like they could have beaten France. Get to semi-finals, get knocked out by Spain. It's fine.
Let's go. Understand. In some instance, you were talking about Argentina being on the final. If you can check most of the game, if the referee was not one-sided a lot, somehow, I think Argentina will be knocked out earlier.
Just now what?
Because there's some games that some teams were pulled. They couldn't perform to their full potential because they knew if I do this, the referee gonna penalize me. But Argentina was allowed to play a dirty job.
Okay, let me just say, Argentina, like when people say Argentina cheated and stuff, I'm not
saying Argentina cheated.
That
but
the referee,
I'm saying the referee was one-sided.
One-sided. When the people say that, I'm just saying that as a referee, it's your profession to be telling people if this is a foul or not. And these are professionals. They have been to go to the World Cup. You need a high level of experience. These people have been in Champions League finals, in AFCON finals, in Europa League finals. Just to get there, you need lots of experience. So I'm telling you that these people, they know what they're doing.
If you can have that experience,
if you can see, like with all the decisions, I wouldn't say they're unfair. They're not unfair.
No.
Have you checked?
I've checked all of them. They're not unfair. Just like what is Argentina wins a lot, and so people just want to discredit them when they win.
Let me tell you something.
Let me just ask one question. There's a tackle where Messi did it and kicked someone over here.
Yeah.
Even that person was not holding the ball. No. That was a straight red card. No, but Messi didn't get a card. Why?
That wasn't a straight red card because it wasn't with the intent. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional to injure the player. And in the rule book, as it says, it's when it's an injury-causing tackle or with the intent to injure the player. And Messi wasn't intending to injure the player.
FIFA rule says if you cover your mouth, you get a straight card.
Yes.
But Messi talked to the referee covering his mouth.
He's talking to the referee.
But still, if
you don't have to cover your mouth. But he covered his mouth. He didn't get a red card.
But also in the final, Kukurea covered his mouth. He didn't get no red card. So you can't say he did when Messi wanted to snitch on him. Kukurea covered his mouth talking to Messi.
Did the referee see it?
No.
But when talking about Messi was talking to the referee and he was covering his mouth.
Remember the rule of covering the mouth started because of the Vinicius incident and because it was racism. But if now he's covering his mouth talking to a referee saying something nice, do you think he should still get a red card? Saying, ref, how are you doing today?
Can I
red card.
Still what you call a red card.
What does the policy
let me just say
of FIFA say?
I am not a professional in this. Me, I trust the professionals, just the referee. Sure. So we can just go to the next person.
Wait, before we go there, off topic. Even if you can have all the experience as a referee, you can still be influenced by the occasion. Like Sir Alex Ferguson said it once, and other coaches also said it when they were playing with Man United. Being at Old Trafford and Sir Alex Ferguson shouting at you would change the decisions of some referees, even if you're the most professional referee. But obviously the influences are there. People are shouting at you. Imagine everyone in the stadium are saying, referee, it's a foul. Referee, you are shit. Referee, we want to kill you if you don't do this and that. And Sir Alex Ferguson is also there on the touchline. He's telling you this and that. You're telling me that won't influence your decisions.
Okay, I feel like...
And it's the same thing for Argentina. Argentina's players, Argentina, the way they play is very rough. So many refs don't give out the fouls because they know Argentina's football is rough. Even though those tackles are meant to be fouls and the yellow card. It's only in the finals when I saw a ref that actually dealt with them properly.
Why? Because they lost?
No, it's not because they lost. Because the tackles that they actually gave out were red card offenses, yellow card offenses. Throughout the World Cup, Argentina were doing the same fouls, but they never got cards for it.
Argentina, when it comes to Argentina, I think for Argentina, we're just going to have to do another video about Argentina. And I'm going to bring the videos here, and they're gonna tell me where Argentina did something wrong or where the referee did something wrong. I think we're gonna do it in another video reacting to Argentina's fouls. We're gonna do another video reacting to. So stay tuned for that one. Yeah, we're going to for next episode.
So next team. Sorry, now we're going back on topic. Sorry for that heated debate. But next team is Ivory Coast. They are ranked 31st in the FIFA World Rankings, and they came out second in their group. And in the knockout stages, they got knocked out in the round of 32.
Right.
I'm trying to see where they were knocked out by. Can't find it though. Yeah, I can't see it honestly. But yeah, they made it to round of 32. Oh, by Norway, yes, they got beaten by Norway 2-1. So how do we feel about Ivory Coast as a team, and how did they perform in the World Cup? Because they have some good star players. They even have the youngest team. They were the youngest team at the World Cup, with some upcoming talents like Jan Diomande, Boni from Inter Milan. Chris Olanai.
And don't forget Ahmad.
Which one?
Yeah, Ahmad.
Ahmad Diallo as well, you know. There's some good players. The Due is there. So how do we feel about the performances in the World Cup? Because they were able to, beat Ecuador. They lost to Germany, but they also beat Curacao in the group stages.
Okay.
So how do you feel about Ivory Coast? Do they have a chance of winning the World Cup in the future? Do we see progress for Ivory Coast in the future?
Ivory Coast, what I feel, I don't think it'll be that much I can say about Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast, they played decently. They went there and showed at least we can play football, we can kick a ball and score goals. But I feel like for Ivory Coast, there was more individual performances than the whole team. I've watched Ivory Coast matches. It always Ahmad that had to come in to secure the bag for Ivory Coast. So I think like it's people's talent. It's not a team, it's a whole that's good. I think it's raw talent of certain players that helps. So I think for the future, the coach is a good coach, but he must just teach the players how to play together. That's how I feel.
So you're saying there was no teamwork?
And when I'm saying like, it was more individual performances, individual brilliance of players than the teamwork.
But that's the World Cup. Most teams make it to the final because of individual performances.
I wouldn't say individual. Like Morocco, the whole team was putting their part. We can say this guy was doing this guy was doing this guy was working.
But who was the one that was scoring the goals?
No, it's not. Soccer is not only about goals. That's why a famous quote by, I forgot who, defense wins you titles. Who's the other one?
I don't know.
Attack wins you games. Defense wins you titles.
You must remember that this is a knockout tournament. Yeah. Knockout tournament, we might not have the best team that plays overall, but you might have a player that's able to carry you through.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that for this team, it was more individual. The way they got in, the stage they got was because of individual performances. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Not because of the whole team. The way I saw it. You can tell me the way you saw it, but the way I saw it was more individual performances. Yeah, what do you have to say?
No, I was just gonna ask, when you're comparing Morocco and Ivory Coast, like Lee said, they were new upcoming players in the Ivory Coast team. But when you go to Morocco, most of the players are used to play with each other.
No, like there's still new people that came, like
but most of them.
Saibara was in the 2022 World Cup.
Wasn't this the 20?
Yeah, he was on bench.
Okay.
Ivory Coast has had to get those players to get to know each other, learn how to play with each other, and you have young players who were not mostly exposed to the bigger stage. You see, World Cup is the bigger stage whereby you sometimes, if you're a young player, you get overwhelmed. You sometimes don't know how to play, how to perform. You understand? So for me, Ivory Coast did their best and being knocked out by Norway. You know, Haaland is the best striker.
But also, like as you say, Norway was also new to the World Cup. So it was two new teams coming together. But you can't say Norway. That's the African mindset, saying Norway is a big team. That's why they lost.
Norway is like Argentina. Argentina, they were taking Messi as their middleman. That guy is gonna score for us. It doesn't matter. We know Haaland. He always score.
Yeah.
So Norway was like, no, Haaland, you're gonna stay there. We'll try to do everything for you. We pass you.
Yeah.
And you know, every time when Haaland sees the pole, he just shoots.
That's a goal.
You understand? So in Ivory Coast, you know, there are some players that we don't have star players like Haaland, who are most experienced like Haaland.
But Haaland came up when was in Dortmund, 2020.
I'm not sure.
I think 2020. He was just like.
But
you must think about
from one of the best coaches, Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
He taught him how to play, how to be the deadliest striker ever.
Like you must also remember, Haaland is once in generational talent.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that, like, that's the thing. I'm just saying that Ivory Coast is capable of beating Norway. I don't think Norway is such a brilliant team that Ivory Coast can beat. Because we also have, like, if you talk about Haaland, I can talk about Ahmad. Ahmad is a special player himself.
No, it's not.
I think I
highlight side.
agree with Trevor because if you see the squad of Ivory Coast, they have really, really good players.
Yeah.
And in Norway,
Yeah.
you could see that there are very, very few players. We have Bo Antonio Nusa, Martin Odegaard,
Haaland is all-
Haaland. But then if you see at the back, I don't think
I
was not arguing
they were
that.
very solid.
But if you can check, Ivory Coast, most of the players, some are new to that pressure. But for Norway, you understand, some of the players are used to being in the bigger stage. You know, even if it's not World Cup, but they are used to the bigger stage. And Ivory Coast has had probably most of their team had youngest players.
Nah, that's not true.
No.
It's the youngest team in the World
The
Cup.
youngest team in
It's
the
the
world.
youngest team in the World Cup.
But these experienced people like the captain. The captain.
Yes, key, obviously. Abu Frank Kessie.
Yeah, Frank Kessie even he used
But
to play
I'm
for
just saying that
Barcelona.
these people also, when I'm not saying that they're not the youngest team, I'm saying that these people also played the AFCON. They also performed well in the
That's what
AFCON.
I'm
So I'm saying that like they should be already like not used to the World Cup, but they already got like some practice. That's what I was trying to say. I'm not saying that.
But you must also look at Ivory Coast's history as a country. It's not a World Cup team. They barely qualify for World Cup.
Also
so
Norway.
I get that. I'm talking about like in the aspect of African teams in the World Cup. For them to be in the round of 32 is a good achievement on their own because they barely qualify for World Cup.
Yeah.
And they barely get out of the group stage even when they qualify. So them getting to round of 32 is a big achievement, and I see them doing more than that with the crop of talent that they have, and I know they're going to produce more talent.
And the good part is they were able to score against Norway. It shows they are trying to try.
Even against Germany, we saw
They score
something.
in every game they played in.
You can see there's a progress.
Yeah.
If those players can just get to know each other and get used to playing together, then we'll see Ivory Coast in some future instance. They will do wonders.
So, how far do you guys think, let's say 2030 World Cup, if they qualify, how far do you think they want to make it in the
I think
2030 World Cup?
they'll get out round of 32 again, as I see.
I think they will be able to go to round of 16
Okay.
because it depends. No, I don't say. Okay, I will say it depends which team they are going to face on the round of 32. Understand? And if they get to face Norway again, I think they're gonna beat Norway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
true.
I also feel it.
I also think that. But I think in the future World Cup, I think they are going to perform well. I think they can even reach the quarterfinals.
That's what I was
Because
also thinking.
if you can see the squad, they have really, really good potential players.
Yes.
The squad is very, very good. From the back to the front. Even in the middle fielders, they have really good quality players. And even in this World Cup, I thought their captain Frank Kessie was going to lead them. I think he even showed a very, very good leadership skills because he was carrying the team. You know, he wanted them, he motivated them to attack, to defend, and I think they really played very, very good.
Yeah, they did well.
Yeah.
No, because
Different opinions.
I'm also thinking Ivory Coast quarterfinals, they can make it very far because they have a good squad. And one thing that I liked seeing with Ivory Coast in the World Cup, like there was no game I was watching of Ivory Coast and I said they're not playing without fear.
Yeah.
That's the thing I liked about Ivory Coast. They took Germany. I remember watching the German versus Ivory Coast game. There were moments in the game I'm like, Ivory Coast can actually beat Germany. They're gonna kill Germany here.
Okay.
It's just the finishing. If they can work on finishing, they can go far in this World Cup because they play without fear. It's a good team, this one.
Ivory Coast, as I say, they think Ivory Coast will get to the quarterfinal. And me, in my opinion, I don't agree with that. Because I feel like it's also about the competition. As they say, they will beat Norway, the way they're so confident in Ivory Coast. And I feel like Norway, since now it's been competing with big countries like England, even they are like that. I don't know what to call it. What do they play? Europe?
Euros.
The Euros is high. They play with high quality teams also in the Euros. They play with World Cup contenders in the Euros. So I think like Norway would develop much faster than Ivory Coast. Because Ivory Coast, when he plays AFCON, just plays low teams compared to wait, they don't let me finish. Compared to there in Europe. If they disagree with that, I don't know, because here it's in the FIFA rankings we have the lowest ranking continent. I think after, is it Asia or us?
It's Asia.
Yeah, I think it's Asia. Then it's here. We have one of the lowest ranking teams. So I think like in development, nowhere in these European teams they will develop faster. I'm not underestimating. Me, I just like speaking facts.
You can speak facts, but also in Europe they have small teams. Spain are playing against Liechtenstein. What the hell is
I'm just saying like what's this? And even in the way where Norway went right now, it went to versus England, got out by England, and they've been playing good. The whole team are playing good, was structured, and are used to now high pressure games that I feel like round of 32 wasn't that much of high pressure compared to the quarterfinals. Unless you guys disagree, saying that there's more intensity in the round of 32 than there is in the quarterfinals.
Every game is an high.
No, but it's more intense.
No.
In the final of the FIFA World Cup, there's more pressure to perform. There's more intensity because you want the cup. Then in the round of 32, I don't think is as much.
But
it's always
that's where the pressure starts.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
You don't want to be knocked out so early in the
or get knocked out by a team that's not there. And you get knocked out by Paraguay.
Paraguay made it to round 32.
Yes, they played Germany and they got knocked out.
You see, round of 32,
You see,
qualifying, but it's clear.
you remember he said that they play high competition.
Yeah.
Germany got beaten by Paraguay.
Yeah, that's
So what
why-
does that say about Europe?
No, I'm not saying Africa and Europe is so bad. I'm just saying that.
No, isn't it you're
No.
saying about the development because they play higher teams, so they're gonna develop faster.
That's what
Yeah,
you
that's what I
said.
said. Yeah,
You
that's what I
said Norway is playing bigger teams.
Yeah, even-
and then you say Ivory Coast is playing smaller teams. But Germany was
Playing with Paraguay. Got
Yeah,
knocked out.
that's what's called an upset in football.
So
an upset.
that's why you're always biased on African
I'm
teams.
not biased. I'm not being biased. I'm just saying what this. They played in the quarterfinals, Norway this year against England, and they played very well against England. At a certain point, if Soloth didn't be stingy and pass the ball to Haaland, they could have won that game. So I feel like what's this? In England, you can all agree is a top team,
Yeah, sure, we agree
and
to that.
it's a quality team.
Sure.
So what I'm trying to say, they have that experience of going to a high place in a FIFA World Cup. So I think in the future, from there they can only go up. When it comes to Ivory Coast, you can see teams like Paraguay also qualified for the round of 32. Remember, the round of 32 only started 2026.
And not only Paraguay, another team again from Europe that did not perform as well. And people
I'm
are
not
saying,
saying that this-
wait, and people said what dark horses is Turkey. They play in Europe. They have the best talents that are coming out
I'm
right
not
now.
saying that every team in Europe is good. I'm just saying that when it comes to average, as I'm talking about average, what's this?
What we are
The
trying to
rankings,
debate,
the continent as a whole is higher than the rankings Africa.
Yes, we get that. What we're trying to debate is don't say a team is going to develop faster because they're playing against more high caliber competition. It doesn't always work out that way.
It doesn't always work out that way, but
And if our viewers can agree with us, playing in Africa is more difficult than playing in Europe.
I disagree. We'll leave that to the comments. Europe or in Africa, AFCON or what do you call it?
The Euros.
The Euros. Yeah.
What I will say, in Africa we have more teams that were able to compete in the World Cup. Look at Nigeria. Nigeria, when it goes to World Cup,
It competes, yeah.
Morocco is there to compete. So
Coast is there
when
to
you are saying we have Senegal, when you are saying Africa, every country is facing teams that are not that much good teams. Why? So you're basically saying Morocco is not good. Nigeria
No,
is
I'm not
good.
talking about.
Senegal
I'm talking
is
about
not
like
good.
what's this? There's low teams in Africa as well, like teams that don't perform. Like
Even in Europe, there are.
It's the same thing.
yeah, but I'm
It's
just
the same
I'm
thing.
saying that there's higher quality in Europe and even the infrastructure and everything to them to grow.
You can
Europe
just
is
say
just
there's
ahead of us.
infrastructure.
It's just
They
ahead
are
of us.
ahead with infrastructure.
And even in the World Cup winners, there haven't been an African World Cup winner so far. all the World Cup, most of the World Cup winners come from South America and what? Europe.
And
Because
that's what I'm
wait,
trying
and
to
go
say.
check
Those
where
are
those.
developed countries.
And you must go
They are
check
still developing.
where those European
That's what I'm
teams get
saying.
their players from.
Yeah.
Go check
Wait,
about France. They have players from Africa.
No. You guys, that thing of saying that the France team is from Africa is not
It
right.
is.
Let me
It
say
is.
my point. I'm saying that what's this? First, they were born in France. Those players, they developed in France. They prepared the goods. Now, when they're grown up, you want them to be taken to an African team that did nothing for
we're
them.
not saying-
So I'm just saying that thing of saying that the France team is
But,
full of Africans
You know,
is wrong.
let's say,
Deep
okay,
down,
let me tell you what
where are they from?
let me
No,
tell you what
that
one
will be
big
done.
coach,
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho, said it himself. Once these African players that play in Europe choose to come to play in Africa, an African team will win the World Cup.
But I'm just saying why.
That's what he
Why
said.
you cannot take a player that was developed in like you okay. Let me just put an example of a cake. You bake a cake. You make the cake, you make it nice. Then when it's made, someone that didn't do nothing, was nothing a part of it, wants to take it and say it's mine.
Those are two
Okay, so
different.
I want to
Those are
make an
different.
example. Ne?
When
Let's
you
say-
decide to take your cake and go and bake it in that,
Yes. Is it the house owner's cake?
you are the one who chose to
No,
go and bake it that side.
What do you mean? Wait, okay. Now you're talking about cake. When it comes to people, the parents are the ones that decided to go there. They made the child there
Why?
because it's a better life. They're going for a better life.
They were trying to make you to help you
Yeah.
have a better life more
Yeah.
than your country.
Yeah.
Which means when you go to Europe, they are developed countries.
Yeah.
Africa is not developed.
Yes.
It's still developing.
Yes. I'm agreeing with you.
So that doesn't mean your roots are from France.
Yeah, I'm not saying-
You're not from Europe. You are from
Okay,
Africa.
then let me ask you: if those players stayed here, were they going to be the same player as they are now?
That's
That's a
what I
different
want to
story.
ask. Let's say in Africa we are developed, we have the infrastructure, we have everything. Will the European teams compete with African teams?
Never.
Now you're talking about things that are not real. You're talking
No,
about
okay, let's make
fiction.
an example.
You're
Let's
talking
make
about
an
fiction.
example.
Okay, if it's not friction because we have teams like Morocco whose infrastructure is competing with
Yes.
European teams.
Yes.
So do you think those Moroccans that are born in Europe are gonna say maybe stay in Belgium and play for Belgium?
No.
Or they're gonna say I wanna come and play for
They
Morocco?
can come and play for you because it's a choice. That's what I'm saying. It's a choice. The player's choice. But I'm saying that
That's what
to you guys, when a player makes his choice, I'm not saying that they all should stay there because there's some people that were born there but come here. But I'm saying that once they choose to stay for France, now you won't be coming there with your African shades like this guy's Africa. Why France
But
can't
he is
be
African.
We are not fighting.
We're not fighting him, but he is
We are
African.
saying those people are Africans.
Yes.
They are not Europeans, but they are Africans.
Africans.
We are not fighting them. If they choose to play for the European teams, it's their choice.
Yeah.
But deep down they know, deep down their roots, they are Africans.
But why
Even
do
these
they-
European
why-
countries know they're Africans. Like go check France's flag. If you understand the meaning of France's flag, you'll understand. They also know that their country it's African.
But I'm just
Okay.
when it comes to what's this teams, I'm saying that what's this a player. Why do you want to say if we had this player, we don't need this. We don't need this international player to do good because we also can produce good players. Like we have, like in South Africa, we produce Mbokas ourselves. South Africa produced him. He didn't come from international. He came from his own country and was developed in his own country. That was a star for South Africa. I'm saying that's how countries should be. They should develop their own stars. Now, if those stars decide to go play for America or something, that's when you can fight and say he's African.
But-
now you cannot fight people that were born.
We get
born
what
there.
you're saying.
But sometimes as a country we see that even if we want to develop our own players, we know we don't have that much of infrastructure that can develop our players. That's where we can see some of the teams, they try to take their players to some academies from Europe
Yes.
to play that side. Why? Because they want to bring more of experienced players from that side when they know they are coming from this side.
Yeah, that was also my topic, saying that there it has a higher caliber. Even here, when we want to take our players to go play higher, where do we take them? We take them to go play that side. That's why I'm saying that Norway will develop faster than us we develop here. It's like Sundowns and let me.
You see, now you're also
Sundowns
speaking.
and Man City. They're two different caliber teams. You can agree as a Sundowns fan.
Sure.
Yes.
You can agree that Man City is
Yeah,
much
they
higher
have
than.
difference.
That's why I'm saying, like, that's why with my point of Norway, saying that they will develop faster that side because they play higher caliber teams. That's what I was trying to say.
But now you're also speaking hypotheticals, like you said. You wanna speak facts. You're not speaking facts. That's a hypothetical.
That's a hypothetical. Okay, now let's go back to the African teams playing for France, as you say.
Yeah.
Those guys,
they're African.
You're not entitled to them. Let me just say, is you guys, because I've seen this thing is now a big thing on TikTok and stuff, saying that you're entitled to players, saying what's this, Mbappe is Moroccan, going there and say, these people are African just because they're all black. We
But
get
they
it
are
that they're originally Africans. I get it that they came from here, their parents are from here. But the ones that developed them and made them that good wasn't us, it was them. It was France that made them that good.
We still hold on to them because they are Africans. France even says it themselves. It's white, Arab, black. So they know that their country is full of African people from Africa who are black. Arabs, also Africans, right? Are
Can
they
I
not?
ask you a question, Trevor? If France, hypothetically, didn't qualify for World Cup, do you think if one of the African team called Mbappe to play, would you think Mbappe would have gone?
You made a good example. Mbappe actually came here to Africa, but then they wanted him to pay a child's fee, while in France they said you must come for free. So Mbappe actually came here. He chose you guys, but we don't Africans didn't
But he
sense.
knows. But
it's a fact. Go search here.
He's an African. He knows.
Yeah, but it's not okay. We can just agree to disagree because I can see these things never going to finish. Tell us what you think. It's a heated thing.
Will Ivory Coast develop faster than Norway, or Norway develop faster?
And do you feel like players that are international should come back to their roots to play for their country, or do you think the one that developed them should take them to play for them, since they are the ones that spent on them? Okay. Let's continue.
So next group is Group F, our next African team. This was the worst performing African team we have had so far in the World Cup. What I've seen is Tunisia.
Okay. Do you have much to say about that, guys?
Their stats: 0 wins, 0 draws, 3 losses, negative 10 goal difference.
Do we have much to say about? There's just a bad team that they're terrible.
Yeah.
And for the fact that they were ranked higher than South Africa, I thought
It's something else.
it's a very, very
But-
difficult.
But
Ranked 57.
I'm just saying also, if you can see that group, can you please go back to that group? That group was, if you can see the caliber of teams that were in that group. Japan is a good team, you guys know.
Yes.
Japan, Netherlands, Sweden. They just got an unlucky group, if I can say. So you cannot come and say they're ranked even higher than South Africa, because also the different team, the caliber of teams that they were playing with was much higher than the South
We
African.
get that, but
And the other African
If
teams.
you are ranked that high, so how would you be scared to play against Netherlands? Netherlands, even if the Netherlands has players, but for me, I think they are a team that is competable. You can compete against them. Japan also, you can compete against them.
even Sweden you can compete
Even Sweden,
against
you
them.
can compete against them. There are most teams that are terrifying. Okay, let's talk about Germany. Let's talk about Belgium.
Okay.
You know, in Belgium, you have those players who know these are most players that are ranked high in the football history.
Yeah.
But in Netherlands, we no longer have that players that are mostly ranked as the best players in the world. So if you go against them, you know I can compete. You understand?
I'm just saying,
And my point is, we knew they were gonna come out last.
yeah.
But to lose in this type of manner is a disgrace.
Yeah.
No, you can, as an African team, I understand that you came out in a tough group, yes. But how do you lose all 3 games? It happens, you can lose all 3 games. But my question is, how do you get to negative 10 goal difference?
Okay, so
As a team, how do you get to negative 10 goal difference? I think that was the worst goal difference out of all these other teams that are there. You had teams like New Zealand were there. They had better goal difference than you, and they had 1 point. At least they got 1 point. Tunisia
okay, Tunisia
against Japan.
That's why I started off saying it's a bad team. I'm not supporting them. I just say that we can see like where they're coming from. Not where they're coming from. Losing is bad, and you should never think that this team is better than us. But you can see, guys.
I don't think it's a bad team, but the mentality that they came with the World Cup was bad. How after one game in the World Cup, how do you decide to change your coach? This is not AFCON where you can decide to change your coach and then you go win AFCON. This is a different tier now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And as Freddie said, you also need experience. The Netherlands and Japan has.
Tunisia has experience in the World Cup. They always qualify.
Yeah.
But they always get out. Okay.
But exactly, you can always cut. My problem is not you getting out, but the way you get out is my problem.
Okay.
The way you perform.
Okay, we can all agree
exactly.
that Tunisia play bad. So let's just go to the next.
Yes.
So how do you see Tunisia in the next World Cup?
I see them getting out as well.
Do you think they are going to develop?
No. There's no one developing from.
I don't know if I feel like with me Tunisia, it's a what do you call this, a coin toss.
Yeah.
If they decide to change the way they do things, maybe third place, they come out third in their group,
then
or
in group
a round of 32.
Or at least you. I thought you
If they can change the way they operate. Not, it's not even the playing style change that, but the way you operate as a nation, a national team, as a team, coming with the mentality that we want to do something in this World Cup. If they can do that, the round of 32 is possible. Anything is possible. This World Cup showed us anything is possible.
Yes.
Let's go.
Freddie?
For me, yeah, like you said, Tunisia, if you can just change some of the things that how they are doing it, yeah, there's still that hope that they will come back stronger.
But for now, we don't see anything improving. Do you see anything improving? None of us do. So at least we can all agree on that one. That one we all agree on.
I think what they must do is just get players from overseas. Maybe it will help. So next one is Group G. I think this was the biggest shocker out of all the African teams that actually performed was Egypt. They came out second in their group. Their stats were 1 win, 2 draws, 0 losses, and 5 points. And how do you guys think about Egypt's performance in the World Cup? Because they made it to round of 16, yes. Yeah, round of 16. With this team where they had Zico, Salah, Omar Ashur, Ateya, Lashen, Hassan, Hafez, and the rest. So
Omar Mamouche.
Yes, and Mamouche as well.
They have really good quality players, and I think they really performed very, very well. Even on the group stage, to never get beaten in the group stage against those competing teams.
Yeah,
I think it was very impressive. Yeah, and to be knocked out in the round of 16.
Yeah.
It showed that they really were rooting to win. Because even you can check the last match they played, they were playing against Argentina.
Yeah.
They were going head to head with Argentina. There were even fouls that were committed that led Argentina to win, but then it is what it is. But then they really did their best.
I think also it made Egypt, they did very well in this World Cup. Made it to round of 16. There was a point they could have beaten Argentina, but obviously, like the coach said for Egypt, we're not just playing against 11 men, there's another man that is there helping them. You see.
That's
so
opinions now. Okay.
Yeah, good players. There's some good players.
What do you mean it's not an opinion? Because the fact is that the referee made his call. Now it's your opinion saying it's a wrong call. So why am I saying that's wrong?
Yeah, but we continue.
But as someone who's watching World Cup, who's been a fan of football, who's been watching, especially European football, because I think European football is much more experienced. You can see there are VARs, there are some sort of things, but you can see this is a foul.
No.
But if you check, if the referee doesn't give away that foul, so what's your mentality towards it?
No, me, I'm not.
You're saying the referee now did the good thing.
No, me, I'm not saying. I'm saying that like since like in a referee, there's a process, not just the referee that makes the decision. There's person behind. If you can see, the referee always wears an earpiece. So there's people at the back room. There's people. They go through so many procedures, and the referee, if you see, they made a new rules in the referee must say why he made this choice to the fans. And I feel like the referee did that. And now, like, when you're saying it's a foul, I'm not debating with you saying that it's not a foul, it's not this. I'm just saying now it's your opinion saying that this thing is a foul. It's your opinion. And with soccer, it will never be, what's this, fair. Let me just say, a decision will never be fair. If a team is playing against your team, and a foul with quotations is committed on your player, it's obviously going to be a foul because you like that team so much, or you don't like this team so much. So obviously your opinion will be the one that's saying we want that team to win. So everything that goes against your team will gonna be a wrong decision for you. That's what I'm saying. That's why soccer is so good. Let me just say, because what you call it, fandom. Yeah, it's a fandom of fans. Let me just say. Yeah.
But if you're a true believer of football, even if you see here my team made a mistake, even if the referee refs, you understand what this was a foul, was Saka's fault. And sometimes if you are a referee, there are some fouls whereby you don't have to comment. Everybody saw it. This is a foul.
The foul you're talking about Egypt, you're talking about the time when Egypt scored. The time when Argentina hit that player. No, when Egypt stepped on that foul, that player, then they scored. And Egypt scored. The referee told them why he did that. Yeah. When it comes to, but Egypt, let me just say, Egypt played good football. They are very talented as a whole team. The coach did a very good job. And I don't know, why do you think these Arab countries are doing so well? Like, this country is the second best team, African team in the World Cup. Why do you think these Arab teams are doing so much better than the black teams in Africa?
As well. Say Northern African teams.
Northern Africa.
Yeah, don't say black teams.
Let me not say black teams.
Yeah. There's many reasons that go down to this. Firstly, their federations are less corrupt than most Southern African teams. Like, if you check Nigeria, like there was a time when they were playing AFCON games with Morocco. If you check the hotels that they were in, it was like they were in a hostel. That's how bad it was. Unlike these Northern African teams where they prioritize sports, they have the infrastructure for sports, they build infrastructure for sports. Plus, also with Northern African teams, if you check, like even if you can go to a game for a Northern African team, like go watch Raja Casablanca versus Wydad. Go check the love that these guys have for soccer. So that's also something that builds into them being so good, performing so good in your World Cups, in your AFCONs, and then building good squads. They love soccer, and they use it as an identity.
So you think Southern African teams don't love soccer?
It's not that they don't love soccer, but thing is,
corruption is they love money more than soccer.
Not only that, thing is with sports in most Southern African teams is not accessible. Unlike Northern African teams where it's a culture. Let's say Northern African team soccer is a culture.
Wouldn't you say no, in South Africa, like soccer is a culture? It's almost like a second culture because they like rugby more.
You see, that's the problem. We made it a second culture, so it's not gonna grow as Northern African team. Northern African teams, there's only one sport. Let's be honest, there's only one sport. It's soccer. We die for soccer. We live for soccer. Even when you can go watch their matches, Raja Casablanca versus Wydad, it's like you going to a Champions League game where you have Bayern versus, I don't know, PSG. You have the tifos, you have the flares, everything. It feels like an actual game.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I'm just saying that us Africans, we should start like going to support teams. You shouldn't be always sitting down saying, complaining at your TV, this guy is Africa, I can't play. Go there and support the players because that really helps. And
like we said, some of it is not accessible. You can't always go to a game.
Sometimes. Because right now, if one of your team is playing in Durban right now, would you go to Durban?
But I'm just saying, I'm saying this, the Europeans, they travel, like the people, when Man City goes to Champions League final, Man City...
You must also look at it in this way. Most of these teams have history.
Their economy is very good. It's not like ours. If we check our South African economy...
Let's talk about
southern. Southern countries, it's worse.
There's no infrastructure, there's no economy, it's not accessible.
Also, the main point is the economy.
The economy is part of it. It touches onto it.
I see what you guys are saying. But they did well. Egypt did well. They performed well. They balled out. Let me just say.
future for Morocco, for what do you call this, Egypt?
No, since Salah might retire. Yeah, but they still have some players, good players. But yeah, I think they have a bright future.
Yeah, Gift.
I think if they continue to play in this manner, they might make it to the semis.
Okay.
I think they really have a good squad. Even though Mo Salah might not be in the next World Cup, but I think they are very, very well disciplined and organized. I think they might make it to the semis. Yeah.
When you guys say Mo Salah, I don't think Mo Salah is like the heartbone of the team.
He's the heartbone.
Huh?
He's
He's not
the
the heartbone. If you watch him, have you watched him?
It's not about watching,
No,
but
no,
you know that
like
Egypt is built around him.
And if you can check, the best player in Africa, it was Mo Salah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Mo Salah. Mo Salah plays better for Liverpool than he plays for Egypt. So I wouldn't say like that he's the reason why, the only reason why Egypt made it that far. Because they also had people like, what's these people's name? Zahir, the guy with the curly hair, yellow curly hair, that also that Mo Salah is a attacking threat. When it comes to other like his midfield, he doesn't really help in the midfield and stuff. If you watch the games, he's not like a person like you can say he's the one that did much, because he only had 1 goal and 2 assists. I think that the whole team as a whole, they can survive without. They can put Mamouche where he is. They can survive without him. He was a crucial player, but they can survive without him. You know what I'm trying to say? And where do I think they will reach? I think they will go the knockout stages again. I don't know from there. I don't know where I'm just in knockout stages. Yeah.
I also think knockout stages for Egypt. My problem with Egypt is they have a very old squad. That's my problem with Egypt. So if they can get some young players in, start building around players like Moma, Ashur, players like what do you call this? Who's that City striker again? Mamouche. If they can build around those type of players, then I think round of 32 is possible for this team.
Okay, let's go to the next African team.
It's very possible for this team. So the next African team that was in the World Cup is, let me get there. It was Cape Verde. So Cape Verde were in a group H, where they had Spain, Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia. And their stats was they had 0 wins, 3 draws, 0 losses, and 3 points. And what we call this, the furthest they made was round of 32.
Yeah. With Cape Verde, I would say the round of 32 doesn't define the whole tournament like the way they played. Cape Verde was out of the whole, I think they played one of the best football I've ever seen, like visually. They played, even with how they played in, like when you see them, they only scored 5 goals though, but they really balled out there. Everyone was working. The goalkeeper worked extra hard. He was saving them multiple occasions. Defense was good. Attack was okay, but the thing with the attackers, even if they weren't like producing so much goals at the front, those attackers were coming back to defend with all their heart. They weren't just like they weren't a Messi standing, walking around.
Were organized.
They were organized. That's what I'm trying to say. They came back and also helped the team as a whole. Yeah.
For me, I won't say much. I think Cape Verde did well. They did their best. It's good.
I think
Okay, for the first time being in a World Cup and then you perform in that manner, it shows that African teams can make it very, very far, and Cape Verde did perform very, very well. And it was a pity that they didn't win a single game, but then they showed hopelessness and they wanted to win. And they really performed very well.
And that Argentina game, that was the best game of the World Cup for me.
you see
Even
that's
if they didn't win, but they didn't lose.
They lost against Argentina.
that's the only one.
I'm talking about the group stage. They didn't lose. They only lost 1 game.
That was good.
Me for Cape Verde, this was a good World Cup for them. this is where I say Tunisia should learn from. Even if you can't win, get the draws. That's what Cape Verde showed us. For a team that was built out of nobodies, let's be honest, the team was built out of nobodies. They showed everyone that even in a tough group, because everyone predicted them to come out fourth. In the group where they had Uruguay and Saudi Arabia and Spain, we all thought they were going to come out last. But they showed us that anything is possible in this World Cup, and I believe that for their future, it's bright.
But if
they're consistent.
If you wanna see us talk about Cape Verde, like the last episode we were talking about Cape Verde, so you can just go to the last episode if you wanna hear more about Cape Verde. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I think Cape Verde future is very bright if they stay consistent, because Cape Verde is not a team that's consistent. There's years when they're in AFCON, there's years they're not in AFCON. So if they can choose to be consistent, round of 32, another round of 32, I don't think they can pass that right now. Maybe give them another 2 World Cups then, round of 16, What do you guys think their future?
Okay, I think their future, as you said, Lee, if they remain consistent, they might perform very, very well. And they still have a long way to go. Because it's still your first time being in a World Cup, and I think they should try even more harder.
Okay, let's go to
So next African team we have is Group I, Senegal. They were in the group of death where they had France, Norway and Iraq, and managed to come out third with 3 points, winning 1 game, drawing 0 games and losing 2 games. And they got knocked out in the knockout stages, obviously. So how do you guys feel about Senegal's performances? I can already tell that Trevor doesn't feel convinced about it.
Senegal, I'm not saying I'm not convinced, I'm just saying the only team they won against was a low-ranking team. That was Iraq. They didn't really show us the quality we know them for as the African champions. They didn't really show us. I feel like they could have at least got a draw with France and beat Norway, since that the African champions, they're supposed to be representing us, but they didn't really represent us that well. But I feel like with Senegal, certain people, as I say, balled out for Senegal with Mane and also that guy Guehi. Is it Guehi or something? The guy Guehi, I'm not sure. Guehi, yeah. Guehi or something. Guehi was balling out for Senegal, and I feel like they just don't have a winning mentality. Let me just say, because if you can see, let me finish. If you can see what happened against, Belgium. They were winning 2-0 against Belgium in the 85th minute, and in those last minutes, they got scored 3 goals. Was it 3 or 2 goals? It was 3. They got scored 3 goals in 5 minutes. It shows us this. They switched off at some point because they were supposed to win that game against Belgium, and that's the effect with most African teams. Let me just say, they start off playing good. When the first 10 minutes, they're really getting in, they're really playing, they're balling out, but they start strong, but they finish weak. Let me just say, with most African teams, when I watch them, because they're always conceding last minutes, last thing. With Senegal, they were supposed to win that game against Belgium, but they just switched off, turned off the lights. How do you understand?
Senegal. For Senegal, I think they did their best. Having to face teams like their journey was not that much easier. Having to face France, Norway, UK, Ireland, smaller teams, when they go against their bigger teams, they want to prove a point. You see, so Senegal tried.
Can I ask you something after? Okay, continue.
Even though they couldn't win against France, because we know France has had the best front three, had the best players, So it was never easier for Senegal to win against them. But for Norway, I think they could have won. But we can't sometimes blame the players. We'll just go with the system, how the coach decided to let them play. You understand? because we've seen them playing in AFCON. They did their best. They tried fight and they went to the final and they won the AFCON. You understand? Yeah, that one is shaky because Morocco was trying to file a complaint about the cup, you know? But through what they've been playing, I think they did their best.
Can I ask you something? Like when you say they played against big team, I feel like why? Like, are you saying that they played against big team? They are supposed to be the big team, like to other teams. Like you are underestimating Senegal in a way, saying that Norway is a big team compared to Senegal, while Norway should be saying we played a big team. That's Senegal.
Thing is, you must also look at the background influences that happened at Senegal.
Yeah.
Because Senegal, their coach was literally coaching them without getting paid for 5 months. These players for Senegal, it's the reality of Africa. These things, it's the reality. Secondly, Senegal had to go to the World Cup without a chef. So they had to buy food in the US. And when you get teams like Norway, who are very, very organized, they brought their own chefs, they brought their own food from Norway. Everything was from Norway. They didn't want to take any risks. Right?
The chef didn't come.
They didn't have money. They didn't have money. Thing is, Senegal is poor. Senegal is a poor country.
Yeah.
So these things, the things that European teams can afford, they can afford.
And that's where we see most of the Senegal people, they depended on Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane was the one distributing some of his salaries to his country, to try and uplift his country. You understand? So in those situations, you go to the US, the temperature is different. The living
arrangements are different.
It's different. They are
Everything
used
is
to
here now.
their own food.
Exactly.
Now they have to change to a new diet.
But like Norway brought, or they didn't bring that.
They
chef.
brought
Norway brought everything. Norway brought
I get what you're
everything.
saying. Like
Exactly.
when it comes to Africans, it's about money. But my point was saying, why are you saying Norway? If Senegal, Norway is a big team compared to Senegal.
No, I wasn't saying as like a big team in that way, but if you can check, like Lee said, there's a difference between those two teams.
What's happening in the background?
The background.
Oh, the background.
We're talking about the
So when
background.
you say big team, you mean the background?
Norway is like well developed. Everything. Most of their
structured.
players, they didn't have to stress themselves about anything.
Exactly.
But
They
when
have
you
the
go to
means.
Senegal, you know,
They have the means.
They have the
but
chef.
in Senegal, they
They don't
Senegal
have.
has to
lack.
be, you know.
They're
and
lacking things.
Also, the coach will be like, no, I never got paid. Why should I win for the
Exactly.
But with Senegal, you can see they're very passionate because you can see like once they got the penalty against Morocco, even with the Belgium one, they got so defensive. Like they're fighting for the badge.
Exactly, that's the thing. Senegal are fighting for the country, even though they don't get as much as other nations do, but they're fighting
they are
for
fighting for
the
what?
badge. If they decided to play for themselves,
Yeah.
they would never make it to the World Cup. They would never make it to AFCON finals. But because they're playing for the fans, for the badge, they're able to go this far, and that can only take you to a certain extent. You fighting for the badge can only take you
Which is
so
something
far.
what I love about the Senegal people. They don't throw each other away. They are too united. You understand? They love each other. Even in hard times, they are there for each other.
Yeah.
You understand? So, for me, I think Senegal did their best. Through the situation they were going through, but they did their best.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you know
So
what I feel like? You know what I feel like?
what?
This episode like is very long. So let's just cut it now. Then we join episode 2 right now.
The time for me.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
one.
It's trying.
Yes, chai. So let's join episode 2. For this topic, we're gonna have an episode 2 for this topic. Since this topic I feel like is 1 hour 30 minutes, now you
Yeah.
can finish it off.
So yeah, the last African teams we want to discuss on the next episode, cause of time, is Algeria, DRC, and Ghana. So stay tuned for that. Oh yeah, and South Africa as well.
yeah,
So
our main dish.
obvious. Of course, that one. So stay tuned for that. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you for another episode. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye. William.
I'm fast.
Yeah, they're very serious.
I got. Yeah, I don't speak it because I sound weird when I speak it.
Let's see.
Ubatana ukabosu.
What should I say in suit?
Say Gift looks handsome.
And what's handsome in suit? Motley. I know Motley is beautiful. I don't know what's handsome.
Yeah, say Gift.
Is there handsome?